The Art and Science of Phoning It In, The Expert's Guide to a Mediocre Existence by Tom Seast. Phoning it in. I've often wondered about the origin of the phrase phoning it in, but I had no strong desire to look into it. After careful consideration with about half of my brain, I concluded that the phrase had likely come about after the invention of the telephone, but I'm no expert in these matters. The origin story. I could expound with great detail and verbosity on the finer intricacies of the phrase and its origins, but someone would come along and do a better job. So I've lost my motivation, and I will simply refer you to this story, which describes the origins and evolution of the phrase in more detail. Defined. It seems that the phrase has evolved and emerged over time to mean a rote or uninspired performance. And this is what the phrase has meant to me. I've often heard the phrase in reference to professional athletes that were expected to perform in great ways but opted to phone it in instead. Mediocrities. The once great philosopher Mediocrities once said, good enough, when asked to do his best. But I don't want you to think any less or any more of the man because of his attitude on that one historic occasion. Good enough. I'd like to tell you that I've always tried to do my best and then some, but it would be a lie. I often phoned it in. I have often done just good enough, because often my mediocre is good enough. Or is it? Value judgment. The key to doing just good enough is to do a little more than nothing, and then just a little more, until the person you are doing it for accepts it for what it is. This can all be done at one time or spaced out over great expanses of time. But this leaves you in the uncomfortable position of having to wonder if you have delivered enough value to be mediocre, and this is often difficult to judge. Give it your all. Another approach is to give it your all and put everything you have into it, but have no concern for what the person who will receive your finished product wants or desires. It's even better if you make them wait for longer than they wanted for the ultimate finished product or service, as it helps their temperament and grows their appreciation for you. You could deliver the ultimate in art, the perfect painting, but all they really wanted was their ceiling and walls painted the color white. Give it your some. It's always best to just give it your some instead of your all, so that you have some left in reserve in case they expect more of your some. It's always nice to have a little left in case you need to pull off the last-second miracle. True confessions. In the spirit of true confessions, I have to admit that I've often phoned it in, maybe even a little bit in my writing of this fantastic late evening prose. But I have prepared my long and lengthy list of excuses below so that I have a couple ready when confronted. I don't know what you want. You never defined your expectations. You don't pay me enough. You didn't allow me enough time. I had to sleep sometime. I have other, better priorities. I needed some me time. My wife beguiled me with bacon. No one brought me coffee. At least I'm adorable. Go hard, go big. Get me near bacon, and I go hard and go big. So if motivated, I can get past mediocrity and phoning it in and give it my all, and so can you. Focus. I have no idea who they are, but they say live in the moment, which I take to mean focus. And instead of phoning it in, I suggest putting down the phone and focusing on the task at present. Eliminate distractions and work diligently. Cheat sheet. For those that are phoning it in and reading this, and just want the cheat sheet version for being better than mediocre, I offer the following suggestions in the form of a cheat sheet to help you achieve your insubstantial goals. Ask them what they want. Ask them when they want it. Give them what they said they wanted when they want it. And then ask them if it's really what they wanted. Repeat the steps above until they have what they wanted. Motivation. I hope this short article that I've phoned in inspires you to achieve new steps of mediocrity, climb the smallest hills, pass through the still waters, and achieve some of the things that you've always wanted. Me. In my case, I'm always trying to do my best, but I often fail. But I make every effort to be better, and so can you. And if we do it together, and we do it long enough, we'll both meet in the middle somewhere. Feel free to follow my ramblings at the links listed below.